Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am your man on film, Michael J Migliore, coming to you with yet another video in some way related to a filmmaker the internet seems to love to hate. We're going to talk about the trailer for M Night Shyamalan's Old. M Night Shyamalan, as you may know, is a director that achieved a bit of meteoric success after the positive reception he received for the first few films he made. The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, these films established him as something of a horror filmmaker with a penchant for clever storytelling that oftentimes resulted in taking his audience on a long journey only to, in the end, subvert their assumptions, turning the narrative upside down with what became known as the twist.
What a twist!
Shyamalan's popularity took a hard dive with his following films, though, many people pointing to the less than clever, predictable, uninteresting, and outright dumb twists.
What a twist!
In the narrative. Now, it may be debatable, but I personally believe that his later films were judged by a pretty unfair eye. Many of these films not evaluated by the technique and narrative they developed. There is enough substance to M Night Shyamalan's films that you can have a conversation about them that doesn't need to be centered around some expected twist that may or may not even be in the film. The Village is still a beautiful story. The Happening, not a beautiful story, but still a film with some incredibly haunting imagery. M. Night Shyamalan would continue to make films, and in a less than expected movie fashion, a twist.
You with this twist?
He more or less once again became favorable in the public eye with his most recent films, Split and Glass. Films that expanded on the lore established in one of his earlier films, Unbreakable. Despite this ample foray into the fantastical stories about superheroes and supervillains, Shyamalan has never really gone away from his work on the scary stuff. And that brings us to the trailer we are going to talk about today. Being rather on the old side myself, it's only appropriate that I should be making a reaction to the film entitled Old, about aging. The trailer opens up with a vaguely European family on what appears to be a vacation in a tropical paradise. The family finds their way onto a secluded beach, and it's there that strange things begin to happen. First, you see the children find piles of junk buried in the sand, which they don't think much of, but the trailer makes a point to show us that this stuff is of a personal nature, revealing a big pile of cell phones. The mystery ramps up when a dead body of someone who appears to be Lady Gaga washes up in the water. After only a brief time, the body has completely decomposed. Then the most terrifying of discoveries happen. Realizing that the kids are nowhere to be seen, their mother calls out to them, and it's revealed that her son and daughter have aged significantly. What a twist! The trailer starts cutting fast from scene to scene at this point. We see some turmoil develop amongst a group of beachgoers. One of the aging children becomes pregnant somehow. They find a cryptic message. Efforts to leave the beach are completely fruitless. And the trailer ends with the phrases, "We're connected to something bigger," and "We're here for a reason." From this early look of this trailer, this looks very much like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And I think the trailer is very much cut in a way that leaves little doubt about that. If Shyamalan's films have anything in common, one thread that is liberally woven throughout is the small group of isolated individuals trying to make sense out of a seemingly impossible series of events. This is the stage which he most comfortably crafts the suspense and mystery in his films. Another aspect I think is finely crafted here is the trailer itself. In recent years, there's been a big movement amongst filmgoers to abstain from watching trailers or being exposed to any promotional material about a film before watching that film. The pretense here being that this results in a richer experience with the film. Your time is your own, and by all means enjoy the art you consume whatever way you desire, but I personally think this is incredibly misguided, and when you do this, you're depriving yourself from a more complete experience with the film. Like, for instance, this trailer. What a twist. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. One of the jobs that trailers inherently seek to fulfill is that they prime our brains for the upcoming narrative. For a film like Old, we are exposed to elements of the narrative that help us establish assumptions that will serve as prompts for the inquiries we are being asked to make. It creates in us the mental language we use to parse the information that the narrative conveys to us. watching this trailer fills you with the questions that you ultimately enter the film in search of, manipulating your assumptions and getting in front of your reasoning, potentially putting you in a situation where Shyamalan can flip the script on these assumptions in the end with a twist.
But you're gonna twist.
And twist it up.
What a twist!
So, what do I think? This film looks interesting. The story is inspired by a graphic novel by Pierre Oscar Levy and Frederic Peter called Sandcastle. We get a brief nod to that in the trailer with a shot of a crumbling sandcastle, which I think is pretty cool. The book is said to deal a lot with questions of existentialism and very human tragedy of aging and time, which you can see very much reflected in the film itself. How much of M Night Shyamalan is in this film compared to how much is coming directly from the source is questionable. Of course, it's not unknown to adapt various works from graphic novels to books to music, even to the screen, and we'll see how much of influence he takes in this film. Well, time will tell in the end if this film is any good or not, and we shall see for ourselves when the film is released on July 23rd. What do y'all think? Are you interested in seeing what twists are in store for us in this film? However you feel, leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell. Until then, I am Michael J Migliore, and I will see you at the next screening.